So, you're already familiar with how to represent algorithms using flowcharts. Pseudocode is just another method of representing algorithms. The word pseudo means fake, and you already know what code is. So the term pseudocode means fake code. There are no rules to writing pseudocode. However, different organizations and teams may have their own standard way of writing pseudocode. This will include your exam board. The best way to understand pseudocode is that it looks a bit like Python, but with more English words used. At first, it can be complicated to write in pseudocode, but there's one rule to remember that will help you. Do not use mathematical symbols. Instead, use words. You should also make sure your words and commands are all written in full capital letters, as this makes it easier to read. Variables don't need to be written in capitals. So take a look at this simple flowchart for a program that takes two user inputs, adds them together, then outputs the results. You are probably already familiar with this algorithm. Now let's see how this flowchart would look as pseudocode. Here you can see just how easy it is to create pseudocode. A few things to be aware of. A right arrow is used to show an output, which is showing the user some data, and the left arrow is used for assignment, which is storing data in a variable or constant. Notice how I have also replaced all mathematical symbols in this with either an arrow or a word. Your turn. Try to write some pseudocode for a program that receives two inputs from the user, multiplies them, then divides them by 2. Pause the video here to give yourself time to do this. Here's the answer. Bear in mind yours might be slightly different. Here's an example of a pseudocode algorithm which uses a for loop. Can you figure out what this program is doing? Pause the video here to give yourself time to do this. You may also see a very obvious difference between how a for loop looks in Python compared to how it looks here as pseudocode. Here's an example of a pseudocode algorithm which uses a while loop. Can you figure out what this program is doing? Pause the video here to give yourself time to do this. That's pretty much everything you need to know about pseudocode. The best way to completely understand pseudocode and become comfortable writing it is by practicing more examples.